is Alejandro Rodríguez. I will present this paper. It's called Hybrid Architecture for E-procurement. It was developed by the Technological Institute of Orizaba in Mexico and University of Madrid. The authors are Alejandro, Alberto Pilar, Luis Juárez, Roberto Sala, and Rodríguez. You can see there are lots of authors. The presentation outline of this paper is first line the introduction, then I'm going to talk about the issue to choose, or proposal, and explanation about the hybrid architecture for E-procurement, a one case of study, the future work, and finally the conclusions. The introduction supply chain, it's a network that enables the distribution of options for procurement of materials, both raw and finished, that can be transformed into goods, finished goods, and distributed to the end customer through various distribution channels. So commonly, the main goal of a supply chain is to satisfy the customer's request as soon as they appear. Some very important thing. However, to satisfy this request, it's necessary to consider the notification services and even management as the required mechanism due to continuously changing data. The issue to solve, main issue to solve, is to satisfy this request. So it's necessary to consider the notification services and event management as needed mechanism due to data is continuously changing. The requests are changing, you have new requests, you need to manage with that. For this, supply chain is a network of service driven by events. Furthermore, supply chain is made up of diverse team of components, such as application and information sources, which reside in different information organizations and trust authorities. So these components have been built using different technologies and they are running in different environments. Our proposal, we are proposing a web service-based system that offers a brokering service to facilitate the business processes, integration in supply chains. Our brokering service is an extended part of a complex system named WBS, which provides a virtual marketplace where people, agents, and trading partners can collaborate by using current web services technology. So, the hybrid architecture for procurement, it has a layered design. Our proposal presents a component-based and hybrid architecture, borrowing features from SOA, and ETA. In a SOA context, our approach acts as business process management (BPM) platform based on the SOA paradigm. And in another context, our approach provides a software infrastructure designed to support a more real-time method of integrating event-driven application processes. Here you can see the architecture. You can see some systems like the WSRM basis-based messaging service. You can see the show message analyzer to know what kind of requests are we considering. The WSDL document analyzer to see the services that we are allowed to call, or for example the pattern-based people engine to work with the processes, with network processes, the flow generator, the instances, and the composer. The case of the study is that you should suppose the following scenario. In first place, the enterprise sell online electronic components. So the enterprise have registered their products and their business processes as web service in the UD node for broken service. Second place, a potential client, one enterprise, example, starts a supply chain to procure products by requesting a purchase ordered by means of web services. In this scenario, we approach the fundamental problem of determining how a client can discover and invoke the web services available to carry a procurement. Here we can see a screenshot of an enterprise. We have to buy some items. In this case, the shops are some enterprise. We have the ID, the delivery time, the quantity, the price, and we can take this or introduce new data on this application. In this case, if we want to register a new business, we have the login, the password, the name, okay, the typical formulary for the typical data that are in this kind of processes. The products, for example, we have Amazon and the ontology. We can check ontology all the data on the products that are stored on it. So, for example, in this case, it's like we want to build automobile. To buy, sorry. In this case, you can see if we want to add new services in the workflow BPALS WS. So we need the name, the description, one access point, the overview URL, the service ontology to establish what kind of product or with which we are working with, and you can add all the services that you need. Here you can see once we enter finally the service, all the services that were created, the name, the URL of the whistle of the URL, sorry, the URL of the whistle, the discovery URL, the code, the ontology that URL, the code, the ontology that was established, product name. Now, that's when we are discovering these web services to work with it. In this case, you can see that you have a button to invoke the method to work with this process through the whistle that has been introduced. You can see the whistle also. So you have access to the interface to implement these methods, and you have access to invoke directly from the web formulary methods. That's one example when we want to invoke some services. So we have a formulary where we have some text fields to introduce the parameters. In this case, it's a product code. You can submit, and we can see the show answer of the server with that request. In this case, to the service that we are working with. In this case, it shows a screenshot if we want to find products in diverse softwares. It depends the kind of software. For example, we have again the description with all the whistle URL and all things. And finally, we have a diagram where we can see the path of information between the web service and the set of sellers. Because we are calling the method, we have a response, we get a response, and we work with it. In this case, it's another screenshot to select the software. We have the software now, and we need to establish, okay, we want to buy some product, how many products we want. And you establish the products, click the button, and the process starts again for the web service, and out of purchase. In this case, we need some parameters like the client. It's the same. You introduce the client and make the submit, and the web service will call, and you will get the response. You can see the response. In this case, it's a SOAP message. You can see the ID of the delivery and all the information that gives to have the server. Here we can see the contents of the SOAP message in a better or more easier way to see. For example, we see that in the diagram you can see that the product code is sent, the information, and we receive and we expose all the information in a better way to see. It's more easier than see the SOAP answer. So finally, the future work, it's related because to that among the applications we envision for our proposal, the exploitation of long-term supply chains involving operation research methods to minimize costs. So it's an important thing to reduce delivery times and maximize the quality of service along with artificial intelligence methods, and to provide semantic matching, very important, and to define business partners profiles management that now we are working on it and it's under consideration. The conclusion is that we believe that hybrid architecture borrowing features from SOA and EDA may provide the fundamental structure in which the solutions to the diverse problems that SCM conveys can be accommodated. We have developed a comprehensive framework for developing business integration, collaboration, and monitoring in that kind of scenario. This work was supported by the General Council of Superior Technological Innovation in Mexico, and it's sponsored by the National Council of Science and Technology and Public Education Secretary. So, if you have any question, I will be happy to try to answer you. I should recognize that the main author is Giner. He couldn't come here. I'm here representing him. The best option is to send an email to Giner because it's the most appropriate person to answer your questions. But if you have some direct question, I will try to answer you. But I repeat that it's better to ask. I only collaborate with this paper, and the author is him. So thank you very much.
Any questions?
Well, I have a question. You could have a situation like there is a need, you need to get a supply of certain components, and several web services can provide it.
Yeah.
And what I have seen here on the slides was a situation that you have just chosen a web service and the whole chain is monitored and you get information about it. And have you thought about the possibility that your system could augment the selection of providers? So provide some information about the quality of the work, the delivery time, the cost, and so on. So not only working with one, but also a selection process.
A selection of
selection of web services.
Yeah.
Because there are many. When we are talking about internet, there may be some suppliers in Spain, Mexico, or in States, and so on.
Yeah, you can work with more quality and more. Yeah. I think that I'm not sure.
Price and delivery time and so on. So they're very perfect.
I understand. Really, I don't know if they are considering more than one service. I think that they are considering because that's one example with only one to see the system simplified. But when I was talking with him, he told me that in fact one single web service or one single widget or one single service is not really practical, because if you are working with only one, it's like so they are I think that they are working on that, and it's possible to select or to be more possibilities to work with more than one. Because as you said, it's better because you can choose and you can see how if one is better than the other one. Also, the final part that I said is that when some techniques or that they are working on it of artificial intelligence, they will be able to.
An area for it.
Yeah, they will be able to. Okay, we are working with more one services. Which is the better to maximize to minimize the time to delivery time and so on.
Great. Thank you very much.
I have a question because I recognize your system that it is at very initial state of development. Why? Because you see, I wonder, is it only an experimental system, or you intend to deploy it in a certain commercial company which make easy chain in this supply chain management?
Okay. Now, the thing is that, as I said, this work was developed, the more part of it in Mexico. I think that now it's in a development process. It's still working on it. But I think that the idea is in the future try to make the system better, try to improve the system. For example, with more options, like he said, about have more systems, more web services, and deploy it on a company or on a more bigger system that will allow us to use it more away than, more far than the research proposal or the research thing. But really, I don't have maybe the very true answer, because as I said, this is our work from Mexico. I only here presenting. I don't know now the exact point where they are. So I don't know if they finally give it to a company or they are still developing.
So may I comment? This is
Yeah.
not a question. I only comment
of course.
This your system. You see, when the system is at the experimental stage of development, so you should, your team should ask what aspects of these systems are interesting for us, are interested for
The business.
And second, how can we verify this system? What metrics should we use for making experiments? Yeah?
Yeah.
But if it should be passed to the stage of deployment, how interface should be changed, because it is not useful. Nobody would like to use such a system because it is only at experimental stage.
Yeah.
So you should have vision, because it is only conceptions and some procedures were programmed and nothing more.
Yeah.
Well, may I answer your question? The verification is not that complicated, because you've got a history of what Norway company has operated, what has it ordered, under what conditions, and in parallel you can work with this, not work, but just suppose that you will choose the suppliers from the system, and you compare the cost after 2 years or after half a year, and you see what is better.
Yeah, but you see, I thought a little bit different. I think that for me it will be interesting. We try to implement certain artificial intelligence procedure for a certain stage of supply chain management, and then we basing on the data which are gathered in the database, we try to make a prediction, to make an offer, or to make the motivation, how system should react, what products should be output of this system for clients or for these suppliers. Yeah.
One question. Which language is used to develop this framework?
Sorry?
Which language? Which platform?
Really, sincerely, I don't know. I don't know because I only participated in part of the writing of the paper, but the system was entirely developed by the Mexican group. So,
Okay.
sorry.
And about system, of course, it's possible to monitor services, requests, and so on. And did you plan in future, for example, to improve the quality of response, the
Yeah.
speed?
Yeah, it's part because now, okay, the system is not slow, but the thing is that when you are working with that kind of BPM process, it's like if the process is not so big, it's okay. It works fine. But if you are working with a higher process, with a very big process, and you need to call the whistles, you need to call the operations, it gets some time. So, furthermore, if you plan to optimize the quality of the service using some artificial intelligence techniques to optimize the delivery times and so on, it's probably that the speed time and the efficiency time will increase. But they are trying to think about it because it's a very important thing, the response time, because if the client needs to wait like, I don't know, 30 seconds to a response, it's like, okay, that's too much time. So,
But I am of the opinion that the most important things is interface of this system.
Yeah, sure.
It should be accustomed to a client and to the users,
Yeah,
because it will be used by clients and by suppliers.
Yeah.
So at this stage it is not for deployment.
Yeah, I know that the formulary and the interface is not good for deployment, but as I said, that I'm not sure about if they are ready to deploy it on some clients, but I think that this kind of interface that we see, it's only for testing purpose and research purpose. The real or the more advanced interface will be better to work with it, because in this case it's very primitive.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you very much
Thank you.
for the presentation.